Tebow, and normally we do a bunch of NFL and sports content and everything like that. I wanted to change it up. I am an absolute huge music fan. I have a lot of favorite artists, including Migos, Travis Scott, Future, and Young Thug. And what do all four of those have in common? Well, they all came from trap. They all came from the current landscape we're listening to today. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the current landscape of rap, trap, where it could go, and how we got here. How we got to these artists dropping so many projects and so many things that we have so much music to listen to and it's almost saturated. Yeah. So this is what I've found. I've done a lot of research for a long time about this, and I feel like I have a decent idea of what is going on. So yeah, enjoy the video. So a big question that probably a lot of you are asking is, what do you mean that what the landscape we're listening to today? It's just rap. It's just trap, but it's a different thing. Actually, no. I've been listening to trap music since like early 2010s. That means like 2013, 2012, all that stuff. And to be honest, this is how we have gotten to the landscape of what we are today. So we'll start back before we know Jeezy, we know Young Jeezy, we know Gucci Mane, we know all of them started trap, and we understand that, and we know that. I'm here to discuss how the new generation has taken it upon themselves to basically birth a new mainstream, because the trap is really the mainstream right now. So we'll start in 2013, and in 2013, that's when Dat Piff, My Mixtapes, all this kind of stuff was very big. And for a lot of you now that listen to Apple Music, that listen to Spotify, that listen to YouTube, all this kind of stuff, you don't know what Dat Piff, you don't know what My Mixtapes are. Dat Piff and My Mixtapes are what most of the artists you listen to, and yes, I said most, they used to put their music on there. And what would happen is they would drop mixtapes. Now, for those of you who don't know what mixtapes are, I'm sure you do, but mixtapes were supposed to be just a collection of songs, and they had a couple of bangers in there, and they had a couple of duds. But what would happen is they would release a 20 to 25 song, it's 17 to 30 song, it would be a lot. If you go into Dat Piff and you go to My Mixtapes, you can check out. These artists used to drop like it was nothing. Basically because, they were trying to make it big, and they were trying to see what they were, the old saying, throw something at the wall till it sticks? That's what they were doing. So, for instance, I'm just gonna quickly look this up real quick. So, for instance, datpiff.com, I'm sure most of you know of the Migos. And if you don't, come on, you gotta have heard of Quavo, Offset. They're all over everywhere, okay? So, if you go to datpiff.com, and that's where I am right now, I'll show you real quick. So, I'm just gonna look up their most famous mixtape, No Label 2. I'm sure you guys have heard of No Label 2. It's got Eminem's, it's got Fight Night, Handsome and Wealthy, all those crazy ass songs. But, second. If you look it up, stupid phone, come on. Alright, here we go. So, if you go to No Label 2 and you check it out, there are 25 songs. Yes, 25 songs they dropped. I bet a lot of you don't know many of them. And that's because what happened was they were mixtapes. They dropped a plethora of songs. If you look, I hope you guys maybe can see it. No, you cannot. You cannot see that, but it's a plethora of songs. And I mean a plethora of songs. They would legitimately drop 25 songs, but most of you only know 3 or 4 of them. And that's because they were just making a huge ass tape, and there were some really good songs. They knew that those would do well, and they knew that some of them wouldn't stick. But here's the difference. Back then, the okay to mid songs would sit at the bottom and no one would hear them except for really big fans like myself. I listened to the whole tape over and over and over again. I fucking love it. Are you kidding me? No fucking wit. Oh my god, I can name so many fucking. The intro's so fucking good. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is what happened. So all of these artists, the Migos, basically once Drake hopped on Versace, the 2013 remix, basically it created a whole new world for trap. And what does that even mean? It means that Drake opened up a sound because Drake, I'm gonna go over this. Drake is what most people in the rap game call a culture vulture. What does that mean? It means he takes whatever sound is very, very popular. And I mean very popular. Like he has no shame in it whatsoever because he's Drake. No one cares. He takes a song like Versace and he hops on it. And because it has Drake's name on it, it becomes big. And now people want to know about the Migos. Now people want to see, oh, what are they going to do next? He did the same thing with the Spacey trap. He does the same thing with the drill trap. If you look into it, all the new shit he does is not original. Okay, that's why I never liked him. I will never like him. It's not original at the end of the day. All the Drake fans, if you're out there, you can hate me, you can say whatever. The proof is in the pudding, okay? He has no originality right now, and I'm sorry. I mean, he makes good songs, but there's no originality to it. So anyway, he hopped on that remix and basically made it so trap was heard mainstream. That was the first time trap was like heard mainstream, like on the radio, all that kind of stuff. So after that, basically the Migos started taking off. They dropped the 2014 project, and they dropped No Label 2, and that's the one I'm talking about. Then they dropped their highly anticipated new album called Young Rich Nation. It was a flop. Most people thought, oh, trap's done. It's done. Now, Future and all them, they drop mixtapes. Young Thug dropped mixtapes. Future dropped mixtapes. Oh God, who are the hell? Trippie Redd dropped mixtapes. XXX, the late and great, he passed, man. R.I.P. He dropped mixtapes. Lil Baby, mixtapes. DaBaby, mixtapes. Gunna, mixtapes. You see the pattern here? Okay? So now that so basically what happened was all these artists they got famous because they were throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it would stick. And they would drop 20 to 25 song albums. There's a couple of instances that are not the same, and I'll go over those later. But that is what happened. All these artists got very, very big off of just sticking shit to the wall. Like just throwing 20, 25 song mixtapes. One of them's got to stick. One of the songs got to stick. Well, it happened. And now we're in an age where they're famous. They're mainstream. That's what everybody wants to listen to trap. So everyone's like, why do we have a 20 to 25 song project? Why do we have 17 songs project where like you can throw some out? These are mixtape artists. If you don't understand that, then you're just, if you look at the history, this is what they would do. Why would they change if they made money off of it? They got famous off of it. These are mixtape artists that are calling mixtapes albums. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I mean, almost every album now has a deluxe album. The deluxe albums are mixtapes. The actual album is a mixtape. There is no sense of direction where they're going with the album. There is no, like, we have an actual direction of what we want to do with this. They're just throwing what they call bangers. That's what a mixtape is. A mixtape is something you can just play, and there's no sense of direction. You just listen to it. There are some mixtapes that have some sort of effort and some sort of idea. Again, I'll get to those in a minute. But at the end of the day, these are mixtape artists. That is what we're listening to in this current stage. And that's why we get so many long-ass albums. That's why we get so many, like, bloated years where they just drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. It's mostly because it's, oh God, I can't fucking speak. Oh God. It's mostly because these artists got famous off of doing this, and now we glorified them. So now, because they're mainstream, you can't drop a mixtape on Apple Music. are on Spotify. You have to drop an album. So what do? They just called the mixtape an album because that's what everybody wants. So the next time you listen to a 20 to 25 song album and you're like, what the hell are we doing? Well, you got to stop promoting it. I mean, that's the thing. You can't. It's not gonna happen. I mean, I love trap. I'm not gonna stop listening to it because they dropped. But I've been doing this. If you were there in 2013 and 2012 and early 2010s, you know what this is. This is just a mix. These are just mixtapes. That's all they are. All right. So next we're gonna go to the opposite end, which are some of the artists, and really I can only find one or two or maybe even three that have an actual sense of direction of what they do. As I was editing this video, I just remembered a perfect example of what I'm trying to go over, which is the mixtape thing where I'm trying to explain that artists are now, they're making mixtapes and they're calling it albums. A perfect fucking example. Lil Uzi Vert. As much as everybody loves, and I mean fucking loves, Lil Uzi Vert, he is literally dropping everything and anything that motherfucker wants. Okay, so we'll go. So this is gonna be very quick, but okay. He dropped Eternal Take. First off, it takes 3 years. Second off, he didn't reinvent the wheel. Third, they're okay. I mean, it just like you wait 3 years, you drop this, and then a deluxe album. By the way, is supposed to have 2 or 3 extra songs. Okay, for what most people would call a deluxe album. A deluxe album is 1 or 2, maybe 3 songs that are exclusive to the deluxe. Uzi Vert didn't do that. Uzi Vert said, fuck it, so many people listened to Eternal Take, let me drop a Love vs. the World 2 and call it a deluxe album. Yeah, that man dropped about 32 songs in the span of like a month. If that doesn't explain what I'm trying to say, I don't know what will. And then he drops singles. He is just dropping whatever the fuck he wants, and it's mostly because a lot of people kind of fell off the Uzi train after Eternal Take. But it's mostly because he's trying to throw shit at the wall. One of them's gonna stick. One of the future songs gonna stick. One of these songs gonna stick, and they do. But I mean, all I remember is waking up to Eternal Take and be like 18 songs, and they're not that great. I mean, really. So that's a perfect example of quantity over quality. And that's what mixtape artists are. So now we're going to go over the artists that are they're not really mixtape artists. In the sense that if you look at their body of work, they normally have a sense of direction of where they're going, and they have a lot of other things. So we're going to go over, I mean, for me, I pay attention to trap. I mean, I know there's Kendrick Lamar. I know there's J. Cole. I know there's a bunch of other ones. But this video is about trap, so I really only have one. And again, you're going to call me a homer. It's Travis Scott. Now, again, you are going to probably go like, you're wrong and everything like that. No, I'm really not. So his first mixtape was Owl Pharaoh. It was a darker album. It's got a lot of good songs on there, in my opinion. If you haven't heard it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's on DatPiff and all this kind of shit, and you can get it on YouTube too. But Owl Pharaoh is much different than Days Before Rodeo. Days Before Rodeo took that same dark style, but then added a little bit of flair to it, a little bit of extra, a little bit of hi-hats, a little bit more bass, all that kind of stuff. He added that. Then you go to Rodeo. Rodeo sounds completely different from the other two, okay? Rodeo does a 2-part thing with his songs. Rodeo has it where every song's basically split in 2. Oh my, this side. Okay, alright. And then we get to Birds. Birds is another one where it doesn't sound the same. Rodeo, Birds, Days Before Rodeo, Owl Pharaoh, they don't sound the same. Then you get to Astroworld. And that is where the Hypebeast came in and honestly sort of ruined it for me. But that's another video for another time about how Hypebeast ruined very famous artists. So, Astroworld comes out. And it's nothing. Most people have not dreamt of a sound like this. I mean, it was spacey. It was atmospheric. As much as most of you want to call it an overhyped album, it's not. If You listen to that thing, it's a vibe throughout the whole thing, and he had a vision throughout the whole thing. There's a little couple songs in the back end, maybe I could do without. But overall, he has a pretty good idea of what he wanted to do. And that is not what Migos, what Future, what Young Thug do. They make a song, make another 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 song, and then in 6 months they drop an album. They are basically sitting there like, our hits are gonna overweigh the duds. That's what they're saying, and that's what a mixtape is. Travis Scott, most of the time, and even his singles, I mean, I don't get me wrong, he's doing a lot with the fucking merch. I mean, that McDonald's shit, bro, like, I love you, Travis, but bro, that ain't it. Please don't ever do that shit again. Don't do some corporate bullshit. You can sign you can do whatever you want with Reese's. You can do it because this shit's fire. This shit's fire right here. You can do whatever you want with Reese's. You can do whatever with McDonald's, but bro, like, I ain't no walking billboard. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I ain't gonna support that. Like, I'll support you. I ain't gonna support that. Again, that's another video later on about how rap has became basically a corporate sellout. And, you know, it's not. It's just, it's a complicated topic. But anyway, so Travis Scott, he took most of these albums or mixtapes also. It's a different sound. Every time it's a different sound. So, for instance, you listen to the Scots compared to Astroworld. It has some elements, yes, but it doesn't sound the same. Throw a Migos song on from Culture 2. Throw a Migos song on from Culture. I'll give you one perfect example, okay? Deads from Migos. Deads from Migos and, oh my fucking god, I know the fucking song too. If you listen to Deads from Migos on Culture 1, and then you go to Culture 2, it's called, Jesus Christ, Open It Up. I want you guys to do that. Listen to Open It Up and listen to Deads. It is the exact same fucking beat. No joke, the exact same fucking beat. Okay? Another example. Future's First Off featuring Travis Scott. Okay? That came out first. That song, listen to Lil Baby by Young Thug. It is literally a higher pitched First Off. I can give you so many more examples of where beats are copied, beats are used, beats are switched up to the smallest degree. There are very few artists, and again, I'm a huge Travis, so I'm going to talk about him. There are very few artists that do something unique and do something different with their music. And again, I'm very excited for Utopia. I think that's what his new thing. I'm very excited for the Scots because again, it's new, it's different. We have not seen innovation like this, and again, he is a Kanye protege. We have not seen innovations like this since Kanye. We haven't seen this type of influence since Kanye. So that's the difference between like the trap artists and then the people who are going to stay. And that comes to my next point. My next and final point. Where is trap going? Now you may ask yourself the question, what do you mean? What do you mean where's trap going? Like it's going away? No, it's not. It's not going to go away. But if you look over the years, we've had a bunch of different kind of trap, and I'm going to go over those really quick. We had the Atlanta trap. That's the more melodic type shit. We have the drill trap. The drill trap is talking about guns, talking about shooting people, talking about all that kind of stuff, because it's all about Chirac type shit. We have the Detroit trap. Detroit trap is similar to drill. It's a little bit different. Florida trap. That's where the SoundCloud shit came in. That's X. That's Pump. That's all those people. Okay? We have the California trap. It's a more laid-back vibe, okay? There's so many different... We have the Houston trap. That's more the spacey, psychedelic. On top of that, you have the hazy. Most people talk about lean in their shit, and it sort of seems like they're on lean, which most of them are, let's be honest, or drinking lean. That's the right term. But we have so many different types of shit. And we have the New York Drill. I completely forgot about that. The New York Drill, Pop Smoke, R.I.P., Pop Smoke made that popular, okay? Now we have the emo trap. The emo trap is, Juice WRLD, Trippie Redd, all those people. So people might be asking themselves, where's trap going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. That's not the issue. The issue is who's going to stay. Who's going to be the one-hit wonder? Who's going to be the one-album wonder? And when the curve starts, the mainstream starts turning to something different, who's going to stay? So I'm here to talk about basically what trap is probably going to evolve into. Now, if you haven't figured it out, yes, I like Travis Scott and I really like spacey psychedelic shit, and I like Don Toliver. I like a lot of what the Cactus Jack brand is doing. Well, that honestly seems like the future. The future of it seems more spacey, psychedelic. It seems more like a lot of people are going to go that route. Now the question is, are people going to go with it, or are they going to go back? Or are they going to do their own style? That's the question that remains if the old style is still going to be popular, and that is where a lot of artists come into play. So I'm going to go over a couple. I think Lil Baby, after dropping The Bigger Picture, solidified. I think he's going to stay for a while. I don't know how long, but he's going to stay for a while. Now, Migos, I love them. They don't innovate at all. They kind of do the same thing over and over again. I mean, I like them, but I mean, let's be honest. They haven't really done much. They're going to stay mostly because of their popularity. Future's a staple in trap. If he leaves, trap's done. Young Thug, if you heard that man's voice, I mean, maybe you can't understand it, but have you fucking heard that shit? It sounds like an instrument in itself. Okay, he's not going anywhere. Travis Scott, you know what I feel about him. He just keeps innovating. I mean, like I said, Astroworld and the new shit he's dropping now, honestly, it doesn't sound the same. It has more of a beat. It has more beats to it. It has more of a switch. I can't even explain it. It just doesn't sound the same. It has the same type of vibe. It doesn't sound the same, though. If you play The Plan and then you play Stargazing, it's not the same. It's a different vibe, different sound, all that kind of stuff. So those five, I think, are staying for. I mean, there's more. I mean, Drake, obviously, he's gonna stay, but I don't consider he's not trap. I'm sorry for anybody who wants to flame me for all that shit. So hold on, I have a list really quick. Oh fucker. Oh, and Bobby Shmurda gets released in 2020. In December. I am really excited to see what that man fucking does. I hope he drops a first day out single, bruh. Those used to be fucking bangers, the first day out shit, bruh. Those shit used to be bangers. I can't wait for that shit. Cardi B, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think she's gonna get left behind. I really do. Because if you look at her style and you look at the Migos style, the Migos are Cardi B. Cardi B's the fourth Migo, like Rich the Kid's the fourth or fifth Migo, whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Cardi B's gonna get left behind, and a lot of people will be like, Cardi B's fucking fired. No, she's not. She's not reinventing the wheel. Nothing's unique about her shit whatsoever. Megan Thee Stallion, on the other hand, that's different. I like what the fuck she's doing. That's different. Nicki Minaj, she's already left behind. We don't talk about her. She's a bitch. All right. So, I think Don Toliver. I think he's coming up, and if you look at his Heaven or Hell album, that thing is great. I really do think he's coming up. DaBaby is one where a lot of people listen to. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. In the sense that he's not going anywhere in the terms like he's staying. He's not. If you listen to all of his shit, he has one flow. He has one cadence. There's nothing new about it. Most rappers who stay have several different cadences that you can do. They have the singing. They have the melodic. They have. I mean, for Travis, he does the auto tune, but for Drake, he has the. I mean, he stays again because he invents himself in a different way. It's not original, but hey, he's staying. That's what you can do. Future, he's trying. I mean, I don't know what the fuck some of his shit is. I mean, god damn, I love Future, but some of that shit, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you on, bro? But yeah, no, DaBaby, no. I mean, he's popular now. Yeah, he's popular now. He's not gonna be popular in fucking 3 years. I would bet money in 3 years if I said, yo, y'all hear the new DaBaby album? You'd be like, who? Yeah, that's my point. Like, he's going away at some point. Like, come on, let's be real. Let's see here. Oh, Polo G. No, I don't. I think him. I think Lil TJ. I think all of them are a part of the drill. Are a part of the drill scene right now, where it's kind of big right now, and then it's gonna die off because that's how trends work. They're gonna die off. I don't think they're gonna stay that long. And you maybe I'm wrong, but I've followed this for a while just to see where I don't think they're gonna stay for that long. I really don't. Yeah, there's a couple more. I mean, Lil Durk, I love him. I think he's a great, but he's not reinventing the wheel, and he hasn't gotten popular. He hasn't gotten like really too popular yet. I love him. I don't sleep on Durk. Like that man, he's fire. But not reinventing the wheel, not doing anything crazy. But again, here's where trap's gonna go. So do I think the trap's going away? Is kind of the final question, and then video's running a little long, so we're gonna cut it there. Well, no. And yes. So no, in the sense like, do I really think that trap beats are gonna go away, and do I really think that it's gonna go to rock or it's gonna go to pop? No, mostly because the computers nowadays, you can do anything. I mean, are you kidding me? If you listen to half the shit that comes out, half those sounds you can't make on an instrument. A synthesizer maybe. I mean, that's the closest thing you got. But yeah, no, you can do anything with a computer. So rap and trap is not going away, but and there's a big but there. It's going to change. And what do I mean by that? Trap over the past 10 years, I'd say, has changed dramatically. It used to be mostly an Atlanta and Chicago scene, where those were the two styles. Well, now you have a Florida type trap. You have a Houston type trap. You have a West Coast type trap. You have a New York type trap. You have a Detroit type trap. My point is that it's going to keep evolving. It's not going anywhere, but the style's going to change. You're not going to recognize it from 2013. You're going to recognize those artists, but you're not going to recognize the sound. And this is basically what I wanted to talk about, in the sense that trap started as just a way to make it out of the hood for a lot of these people, and it really was. I mean, I don't know anything about that, obviously, but my point is that I've looked into a lot of this, and yeah, a lot of it was to make it out of the hood. And once they did, why would they change? Why would they change? So then, you get to, they have to be innovative. Well, no, they're making money. And then, you get to this point where maybe they're going to have to start being innovative. Or maybe their brand is going to be too great for them to actually change. So here's this quick recap. So basically, the three things we talked about today is, where did trap start? Trap started as just throwing shit at the wall and trying to see if it sticks. And trying to see basically if they could get a hit, and then, one hit wonders, all that shit starts happening, and, that's where we're at right now. And, the other thing I forgot to mention in the first one, the reason why I say we're in a mixtape era is because before, those shit would be underground. Like, you would not hear all the bad tracks. Now, because they're on Apple Music and Spotify and all that shit, and everybody's listening to it, you hear the bad tracks. You hear the shit that would be at the bottom of that pit that people would not listen to. You would hear the not so good tracks, the tracks that they really didn't want to drop. You hear all that shit because we're in a mixtape era. I want to stress that. I really want to stress that. These are mixtape artists making albums. Well, mixtape artists saying that they're making albums. Okay, there's very few that don't do that. And again, we went over that. So the first thing we went over is, that is what we're in. We're in a mixtape era, where when you listen to a song, you're listening to a mixtape. You're not really listening to an album. Second, innovation. Most of these people are not going to innovate. I mean, I hate to break it to a lot of you, but a lot of your favorite artists are doing the same damn thing over and over and over and over and over again. I admit my artists are doing the same fucking thing. There's only one that I could say that probably isn't. And we got to see what the hell he drops. But Future, Thug, Migos, Lil TJ, Polo G, DaBaby, Lil Baby, Gunna. I can go on. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're pretty much dropping the same damn thing. Maybe a different beat, maybe a small different cadence. They're not doing anything different. And that's how they got famous, so why would they do anything different? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, they're not gonna change. And the third is, trap, it's gonna stay, but it's gonna be a different, it's going to evolve, in the sense that computers and all this type of technology, it's gonna make it so they can explore different sounds. You can explore, like, I can't even think of a fucking, I mean, you can explore a Halloween type album, where before you didn't have a bunch of different shit that you could go to, like spooky like spooky sounds, fucking. I'm rambling, but my point is that you can explore. That's why Travis waited so long to fucking drop Astroworld. He could not find the fucking sound, and once he found the sound, he went to it. That's what he did. That's what Astroworld did, the spacey, atmospheric shit, and he waited. He did not drop it like a lot of these people would have tried to drop something that's not finished. Okay? Fuck, the Migos dropped a Taco Tuesday. It's a minute and a half. Like, you don't need to do that. Anyway, so those are the 3 points of how trap has started, how it's evolved, and how it's going to change. I hope you guys enjoy this different kind of video. Again, I might try to do a couple of these. I'm trying to see what I can do with different kinds of content. And this is not going to be very well edited. This is more like a vlog. If you just want to hear me talk and you want to hear my opinions, this is kind of what this is for you. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoy. And tomorrow we are going to have, so first off is going to be the week 2 pick'em. I do have a job. I did get a job, which is good. So I'm going to actually have to figure something out with the upload schedule. But they will be out tomorrow. Mark my words, before the Thursday night. Wait, tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay. I'm stupid. Okay, they will be out before Thursday, so you guys can get a pick'em. You guys can, use those if you want to do a parlay, a survivor, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then what I think about what the Jaguars game is going to be out tomorrow too. So be on the lookout for those. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this different kind of style of video, and I'll see you guys next time.